We begin our meditation today. Let's center in that space of infinite being, consciousness. No need for thought, just the intention. Allow yourself just to stay in the awareness of infinite being. No limitation, no labeling, no idea, no thought, no thought construct. Just limitless being. Allow the mind to open up just to infinite being. And not just to conceive it in your mind, but open your heart to it. Infinite loving being. As you breathe into the chest and breathe out from there, open your energy being, your loving energy being to infinite love. You can do that. Stretch the capacity to love beyond conditionality. As we say, there should be no reason for loving, no season for loving. Just lovingness. I exist. If you want a thought, I exist in infinite love. That's a mantra of this space. I exist in infinite consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi. Soham. I exist in infinite being. Breathe into it. Breathe into every level of your being, affirming this. And breathe out into this space. The mantra of I exist in infinite being is Soham. It's breathing in the So and breathing out the Hum. So is the infinite being. The Hum is your I. Open the belly to breathe, that you may think of infinite core energy. Infinite vitality that drives the body, infinite prana. Just breathe into the belly. And gather your strength from the root, that you may be stable in the physical body. You gather that strength by contracting the perineum area, or just taking your mind and intention there and drawing the prana up. Either one, as you feel inclined. Maintain spinal column awareness. That's where your energies move. As you breathe into the belly, as you breathe into the chest, as you breathe into the throat, take your attention to the back of the neck, at the medulla area of the brainstem. And hold the awareness of the energy center, the center of the eyebrows. It's the Manas chakra. And you will feel the place where the prana enters, the Ida Pingala. The energy nadis of the two nostrils. And use that Ujjayi breathing. with spinal column awareness. As you open the belly, infinite prana, infinite core vitality. There is no end to the source of vitality that's at the umbilical area. No end. Patanjali Maharishi, the great yoga master, he said, if you were to focus on the Nabhi chakra, that's at the navel, that the knowledge of the body will come to you. The knowledge of the body system. He affirmed that in his sutra. Breathe into the center of the chest, and you get a knot of the heart. An energetic knot of the heart. Breathe into it, those of you who can feel it. And just breathe into the prana. Breathe the prana in there from the Ida Pingala. And from Kundalini up the Sushumna. I'm using these terms, you should be familiar with them. And as you use the Manas chakra, that little energetic knot you feel at the center of the eyebrows as you focus on the spinal column and the Ujjayi, you'll find that with breathing in and out, prana apana breathing, that the senses will become pacified in a very natural way. And slowly you'll be able to withdraw the energy from the senses. It's called pratyahara. Patanjali call it pratyahara. To move the energy away, the prana away from the senses, the prana of the mind, away from the senses, and into the inner space. And he says, focus. He called it dharana when you're practicing the concentration. And when you can actually feel it and it becomes stable, he calls it dhyan, when meditation really comes into fullness. And he says, when you feel that unity consciousness between you and the divine, the soul and the helm inside, he calls it samadhi. It is the balance in the mind. Samadhi. This is a space of grace, just to remind you. The energy of the masters is in this space. The ever-new energy of the masters. If you want to tap into that, then the Om Guru Mantra. Allow yourself to be nourished in this space. This is the God space. With senses in balance, within a focus. As you move now inward along that path, the Bindu path, taking the attention now up to the center of your crown, energy. Just take the attention up into the brain as far as you can go, into the crown space. In that space you feel that you exist in infinite being. It comes naturally in that space, that your existence is an infinite being. Allow yourself to open up to this as you breathe from that center of the eyebrows, taking the attention upward, no longer along the external, but in the internal space, and holding that awareness of Soham. I exist in infinite being. And through grace, that awareness will dawn more and more upon you. You will begin to feel I'm divine. I'm pure. That is the Soham awareness. Draw prana as you need. Don't lose awareness of the body. You want to keep the awareness of the body. Hold the body in a vital space. My awareness is along my spinal column. It's along the central channel from the root right up to the back of the neck, at the medulla, and then up into the crown. And if you maintain your awareness there, you will feel the Kundalini prana coming up the spinal column from the awakened Kundalini, and you will feel the Ida and Pingala at the center of the eyebrows. You'll feel prana coming from Ida, Pingala, and Shushumna. And at the center of the eyebrows, at the energetic point, you have the convergence of three major nadis. It's a supercharging you get to the brain as you draw prana. Even if you don't fully understand all of this, the grace will give you the experience. If you make yourself worthy. Through sincere seeking and devoted practice. Stay absorbed in the inner space. Stay absorbed in the inner space. Now extend your awareness to the space around you. Let's divinize that space in our consciousness. Open your awareness to your gross body. The body is simply a vehicle for your soul travel. It's not who you are. It's a vehicle given to you for a certain length of time, a certain time span or lifespan of the body. Be appreciative to the body by holding it in your loving awareness. And by extension, the elements of nature that support the body, the air, the light, the water, the space, the earth. Be appreciative. As you breathe the air, feel gratitude. As you feel the water element in the mouth, be in gratitude. As you feel the space around you that allows movement, allows sound travel, be grateful. As you feel the earth and its steadiness beneath you, its stability, and its supportive nature, be grateful. Just feel blessed for the knowledge that you have. Knowledge is power. Be grateful. And we'll end our session with a prayer of unity, togetherness in the divine. Om Sahana Bhavatu. May we be protected together in the divine. Sahanao Bhunaktu. May we be nourished together in the divine. Every form of nourishment. Sahaviryam Karavavahe. May we be strengthened at every level together in the divine. Tejas Vinavadhi Tamastu. May our knowledge be full of light, full of sattva quality, positive, constructive, unifying, compassionate. Ma Vidvishavahe. And may we always be united, may we always remain united in the divine, together. Ma Vidvisha Vahe. Om Shanti. Peace. Shanti. Peace. Shanti. Peace. Welcome everyone to our Sunday session. Until we are awakened in the consciousness to our spiritual being, we remain in darkness, in the awareness that we are the physical body, that we are aging, that we are going to die, that we are limited, that we are thirsty and we are hungry and we are tired. This is the identity we have. In ignorance. Is that how you feel? Limited by the body, challenged with the mind, sometimes negative, sometimes positive, totally unstable, scattered, indecisive, lacking vision. Is that how your mind feels? Or emotionally unstable? Every little emotional challenge floors you, takes you down. Is that how you feel? Unable to keep the body vital, unable to control food, rest, sketchy with your exercise every now and then. Is that how you are? Is that how you feel? Well, you need not. Because you're not the body, you're not the mind, you're not even the ego. the sense of I that wants to identify with everything. You're not even that. You're not the emotion. You're not the intention. You're not any of these things that you create. You're absolutely not. There was a time when I heard that, I totally didn't understand it. And I cried. I lacked the understanding. I knew it had some substance, but I couldn't understand it. I was challenged at every level, absolutely challenged. So I know the territory and how it feels. In all of my 20 years, that's how I felt. But I became a seeker, an intense seeker, willing to give up anything just to understand all that I am. Somewhere deep inside of me, I knew more existed. Nobody could convince me otherwise. In the 20th year of my life, everybody wanted to give me some advice, have a purpose. Even when I went to India to an ashram, the guru is saying, you need to have a plan. And I'm thinking, I don't know what plan to have in my mind. But of course, I'm respectful. I said, yes. He's teaching me just like the world. You need to have a vision, you need to have a plan, you need to know where you're going. I have no clue how to even do this. Grace is what took me the next step. Grace. That's why I'm so big on grace. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I needed support. I needed a space. I needed help. As destiny would have it, I was led to the right place. I was led. That's why I believe in destiny, in providence. That you are not alone in this space. Even when I, 20 years old, never traveled in my life, but I'm in this subcontinent of India, so big, with one little bag that I had on my shoulder. But in my heart, I just knew that somewhere, somehow, I will be helped. The ashram of Baba Muktananda in Ganeshpuri made all the difference at that point. 21 years old. Incidentally, I left Trinidad on its Independence Day. The Independence Day of Trinidad is when I left to find my own being, my own identity. The ashram had some kind of magical quality. That awakened me to a whole new sense of identity. The guru was even there. The master was in the United States, and I'm in this space. And incidentally, when the guru is not there, his space doesn't have much people. Everybody is trying to flock to where the master is. But the space was just so rich with an incredible energy. And I attribute a lot of this to the great master, Baba Nityananda. Baba Muktananda always sort of worshipped his guru, adored him. simply because of that Shaktipat influence he got from Baba Nityananda. And so Baba Nityananda was just everywhere in the ashram. His picture, his murti or image in the courtyard of Baba Nityananda, big statue standing up there, powerful being. In his temple, Baba Nityananda is sitting like this. Baba Nityananda. Somehow, the chanting in this place, the space itself, carried an incredible energy that just brought about this huge awakening in me, energy awakening. And suddenly, I was catapulted into an awareness that I am not this body. I am watching this body, but I am not it. And I felt my heart exploded. I just felt so much at peace. And a lot of love started to flow from my heart, especially when I was chanting, singing. Little group of singers, but it was not about the singers. It was about this incredible energy that was coming from the voices together and in this space. An awakening happened that was sustained. And that's why I believe so much in the Guru principle. It was not about a physical master. It was what was awakened in me. I was nourished by this. By this connection on the inside. I was nourished. Without even the physical guru being there, I was nourished by the chanting, by the discipline. I love discipline. I was nourished by the discipline. We had special time for work, special time for chant, special time for meditation, and a totally disciplined space. It made all the difference to me. I grew in that incredibly. If I stayed more than 4 months in India, then I wouldn't have money to go home. And home was far away from India to the West Indies, the small island of Trinidad. So I had to make a decision whether I stayed in India. And I don't know anybody who would give me money to come home. So I had to make a decision before December, must have been the 20-something of December, to come home. And in the days before that, this growing awareness came within me that it's not about the physical master or the physical surrounding. It's about me and the inner connection. And I felt this growing strength within me that what I had there will stay with me. I felt the strong power of Kundalini within me, as the Guru, as God, as the mother, as the father, as everything. I had this incredible connection with this Kundalini energy that I was able to live in there after 4 months in India, 4 incredible months in India. And felt the energy stayed with me. As I traveled back, as I came to my home, physical home, and the most beautiful thing, when I sat down in the morning and I lit the diya, the little light, and I sat to sing Guru Gita, I was in Ganeshpuri. I was in an incredible space of energy. When I got up in the early morning and I sat there was no difference between there and Ganeshpuri. My inner being just felt all of these beings of the light around me. So where's the ashram? If not in the inner space. The outer form carries a beautiful energy, yes. But the inner space is an incredible space of energy that we don't even look for. So in these times when we can't have the beauty of this little space of discipline, you can create that in your own space. As I did. And it was just about 7 months after my second stay in Ganeshpuri, which is the most beautiful stay. I was back in Ganeshpuri in 1977, just about 7 months after. In April of 1978, I think that's 43 years now, I had the most incredible experience of 40 days of seclusion. And held in an incredible energy field. When I look back at it, it's like a fairy tale. Unbelievable. Well, grace held me in the most powerful, transformative experience any human being can have. Grace took me from this one who wanted to be a recluse into one who needed to be a teacher. Humbly. It took me into that self-mastery and to total awareness that I'm not the body. Total. That this body is only energy. This inner body, this body of light, it's called Sukshma Sharir, to the total awareness of that body. And it took me into the whole sense of awareness that I am infinite consciousness, nothing else. And then there I was able to visualize over these 40 days that the ego was only an instrument in the play. It's not the reality, it's a facade. It became very clear to me that I was not the ego. In that final experience of being, there was nothing to be said, nothing to be affirmed. It was just an incredible state of being. The I now had its most profound identity of just existing in infinite being, connected to the source of everything, and just needed to be the perfect instrument, the perfect antakarana, the perfect ahankar, which is I am that. That's what the I became. Nothing. That I am the body, I am the mind, I'm the teacher, I'm the this, I'm the that. No. Just I am. That's the purest I. So there you see how grace can take you through the entire step. And it's not about the externalities. It's more about your entering the inner space and growing there. And some of you may feel unworthy as I did, and then you'll realize that even when you're feeling unworthy, the grace will continue to flow. Because it's about humility, it's about surrender. It's about a desire to be all that you need to be. Can you do it? Yes, you can. But be realistic. In the lifetime, you may be just given how much you deserve. And you have an infinite number of lives that you can have. Don't try to hustle the play. because it's karmically driven. Mine was karmically driven. Even when in the 40 days I became so restless in my being and I wanted to just, why can't I be free? This is too stressful, my head is too stressed. I'm feeling all this energy in my heart and it's coming up into my head and I'm just incredibly stressed energetically. I need to be free. And then in one of my experiences, I saw a tower clock. When I kept pushing this energy inside, a tower appeared. Because my dream state was so alive. My dream and wake were almost the same. Whatever I was doing in the waking state was happening in the dream state. And then I understood I can't force this process. This process has a timeline. And I just allowed it to happen. And then it became 40 days. The divine wanted that. It had to be 40 days. I was destined to be there for 40 days. So whatever we are destined in our life purpose to achieve, that's what we're going to achieve. So it's more important to stay with the process. The divine will take you exactly where you need to go. For those of you who are following my path, it's the path of the masters. It's called Siddha Yoga, Mahayoga, Sahaja Yoga. All of these are the same names. It is the path of the masters. It's the path of Shaktipat, spiritual awakening by connection to the master or the masters. And it takes you the full journey. Once you get on this bus, metaphoric, you don't have to worry. You're on the right bus. Kundalini drives the bus, and she takes you to every destination that is perfect for you. After I came out of this enlightening experience in 1978, of course I'd given up everything for higher education, academic, tertiary level. I'd given it up. I didn't want to contaminate my mind with just theories and the whole idea that I'm something in the world. And the divine took me back there. Because when nothing was happening and I was trying to just create this spiritual environment, it just wasn't happening. I knew I had to teach it, but I didn't feel equipped. I was just 23 years old, barely 24, going to 24. And then I thought to myself, well, you've mastered the inner space. Why not the outer space? Education has always been something that you enjoyed. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. So as destiny would have it, I got a job in a new venture in our country, steel making. So from my previous experience, I went into the quality control, and then I got a scholarship after 1 year there. And I was in university. My passion before has been the scientific field and engineering, so that's where I ended up. But I had a whole different awareness being in university, completely different awareness. It was just gymnastics. And because I love the energies of life itself, be it secular or spiritual, I was able to really appreciate academic education for what it's worth. Learning about the world, learning about the energies of the world, harnessing the energies of the world. Of course, I excelled. I came to the workplace. There too I excelled because I just love helping people. I was totally humanitarian. I got promotions very easily. And then at 39 I said, this is enough. I worked in 2 companies, felt accomplished, did everything that I wanted to. And then I was ready for Blue Star. I felt accomplished. I felt like I could drive an organization, not only spiritually, but also materially. Being able to master the inner and the outer is a great treasure for me. That's how I live today. Creating beautiful inner spaces, outer spaces, and lighting up the inner space. I absolutely love it. If you come on my bus, that's what's going to happen. We're going to make this outer space the most beautiful space, and we're going to light up the inner space. And we're going to do so organically. We're not going to push anybody. We're going to attract everyone, inspire everyone, and we will be the examples. Joy, come on my bus, and that's how we will be. And just to say to you that the new name for our eco-village is no longer Tapovan, because tapas means too much fire. It is the fire of transformation, and I used that earlier on because it's a 6th chakra. It's a mental discipline. It's like what I went through in the 40 days. So recently, sitting on one of the big kapok trees there, and just watching the whole thing unfold, I thought, no, this is joy. This is incredible joy. Just like what I felt in Ganesh Puri when there was this big spiritual awakening. No, my sadhana has been joyful. Stressful at times, but joyfully so. So the new name of our eco-village is Vrindavan. Tapo means the fire of transformation. Vrinda means flowers, nature, beauty. Van is the forest. It's a nature. So instead of Tapovan, it's Vrindavan. And that's where the Krishna was with the gopis and with the cows and with the joyfulness of nature and the melodies of the inner space. That's how our eco-village will be. A center of joyful transformation, as this 40 days will also be. Joyful transformation, the beauty of transformation. My sadhana was just joyful, 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 joyful. When I came back from India, I got into teaching and it was just joyful. When I went to university, it was joyful. When I came into the workplace, it was joyful. Service has always been joyful for me. And so our eco-village, as it centers itself in nature and the beauty of nature, is going to be Vrindavan, the place of joy, joyful transformation in nature. But people will come together and joyfully work. That's how we work in Vrindavan. It's all with the spirit of joy. If you see the teams we have, it's all about joy. So I can no longer call it Tapovan, although we may have a Tapovan space inside it. But it's going to be an outlook of joyful energy and beauty of Vrindavan Eco-Village. So this is my Sunday. I've spoken a lot. But this is the eve of our 40 days coming up, our introductory session, which is to Baba Nityananda. He's been the major inspiration of the 40 days. I started by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Nityanandaya, and that brought 40 days. So we honor him. Bhare Baba, his goal, the big one. And we want to stay with Trinidad's time of 5 o'clock to 6:30, 1.5 hours. So we know it'll be a little later for you in Europe, but we know that you can still do it. So we begin on Thursday, and then we're going to be in an incredible period of 40 days that's going to be different. But you will have an opportunity to clean up your spaces till then. That's what happened in my early 40 days. We ended up cleaning everything before that 40 days happened. So when you clean up your in and outer space, preparing yourself for this 40 days. We're going to announce more and more. Registration is now open. We're going to send you all the information that we can. And all we ask is that you offer a dakshina to help us in organizing all of this. And we're going to support you in every which way. I've made it so that you need to register for it because I want only the serious seekers to be in this space. So if you ask sometimes, if we don't know you and we ask, please fill out a form. You may be interviewed if necessary, but I'm sure all those who are meant to be in the 40 days with us will be. If you're meant to be, there you will be. So we're looking forward to an incredible 40 days coming up, and we're looking forward to your participation in that. It's been a beautiful morning for me, simply enjoying your company. Thank you for your ear, your listening ear. I do appreciate it very much. You give me power when you listen. And when you open your heart to what I'm saying, you give me that red carpet to walk on. And I thank you for that. You fulfill my purpose of being on the earth's plane. I'm here simply for you. If you didn't exist, I don't want to exist here. I exist because of you. So all those of you who feel familiar with me since you've met me, we have come back again for this grand play of co-creating the space in the Dwapara Yuga. To welcome back to this journey with me in yet another lifetime. Let's make it happen, and let's light up the world with a light from within. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.